Hello, Sanford. You are listening to Sanford Sports Radio, and we are here for more Sanford College football, as it is time to hashtag defend the den as the Sanford College Coyotes go head-to-head with arguably their MAC rivals, the Bowling Green State Falcons. Last year it was a close contest between these two teams. Of course, the Sanford Coyotes throwing a late-game interception which really threw away the game figuratively and literally. As Bowling Green took a very close win last year, the Coyotes look for a lot of revenge as they're riding high on an undefeated record with Tanner Patrick under center. Now the big question is, can he continue to do this, and can he continue to play at least moderate level? That's the big question here, and we're going to get all those answers here today as they get ready to kick off here. Lewis McMahan back to return along with Sam Moore, but McMahan will be the man the ball's going to, as he has been a big weapon, as well as Sam Moore with kickoff, as they both had a couple in the last game, as no return really there, only 18 yards. As Patrick hands off to Fleming here on first down. That's going to be a gain of about 2. Claude Fleming not having the dominant year really Sanford was hoping for, but he's been solid. As 2nd and 8, it's another handoff to Fleming as they've been utilizing that run game a lot this year. Only 1 yard on that one though. And with Patrick in at quarterback, it makes the run game a lot deadlier with the option as a legitimate option. As Patrick on the throw, that's Deron Costello. He had a wide open Claude Fleming in the flats, decides to go to Costello. It works for 25. As 1st and 10, they go to the option running here for Tanner Patrick, and that's going to be a gain of 10 for the young quarterback. The freshman undefeated in his starts here at Sanford. As 2nd and 10, handoff goes to Bradford. That is a gain of nothing. He just got back to the line. Nothing going for the big fullback on that carry. 3rd and inches now as Patrick hands off to Tyrone Jennings. This is his first action this season as he impressed Coach Wolf in practice this week. And he's going to get a lot of reps today. Don't expect to see Nigel McTaggart much. It's Patrick throwing on 1st and 10. It's Deron Costello. That's a gain of 7. A safe throw and a nice gain there on that one. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. They're in the pistol as Patrick on the run here. He's going to just take off. He had some open targets he's going to look to, but decides to take it himself for a gain of 4. Another first down for the Coyotes as they're getting deeper here into Bowling Green territory, and Fleming's finding more room here on 1st and 10. That is a 10-yard run. Not enough, though, for the first down. They won't give him that. 2nd and inches, pistol formation as Patrick hands off to Fleming instead of taking it himself. Smart move and enough for the first as it's only a gain of 2. 1st and 10, Patrick looking to hand off again. Yes, Tyrone Jennings is the man carrying this one. 8 yards on that gain. It'll be interesting to see how well Jennings plays and if it allows him to get more play time in the future. As Patrick looks to throw off play action, runs out of time as he is taken down. A loss of 15 there. David, let's see if I can get this one right. Nowalski, something to that effect. Number 94, the big man, the big defensive end, bringing down Patrick for a big loss. Now it's going to have to be 3rd and 17 and any a big play from the quarterback without a strong arm. 3rd and 17, Patrick to throw. He connects with Fleming on the check down in the flats. That's going to be a gain of 7. They won't get the first down, but it'll be a good field goal position for Tracy Weaver, as he is good on his field goal. Sanford up early 3-0 as Bowling Green takes over. Newsome gets the throw out of the flats. That's going to be a 9-yard gain for Daryl Newsome. 2nd and 1 now. There's 2 running backs still in as the no huddle begins, I should say, as James Morgan throws this one away. His pressure was coming in quick and a lot of nice quick coverage. 3rd and 1 here. Wilson the man in motion as Morgan to throw. He wanted Wilson, but he can't hit his target there. That miss is going to cause a 4th down, meaning a Bowling Green punt. As now it goes back to the Coyotes offense as Jennings is lit up with that shoulder. That's a loss of 2 by Matt Robinson, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. As Sanford's up early, 3-0 over the Falcons. You've been listening to Sanford Sports Radio. Your second quarter will be here in just a bit. 2nd and 12 here to start the second quarter of play. You're listening to Sanford Sports Radio. I am, of course, Jonathan West, your man on the call, as that is the first incompletion of the day for Tanner Patrick as he overthrows his intended target. 3rd and 12, and they're going to pitch it out to Fleming, and that's surprising, but a gain of 7, not enough for the first, and they'll have to punt. 1st and 10 for Morgan as he connects with Hunter, but Hunter can't hang on. That's a drop. Heath Haley, the man, on the tackle. 2nd and 10 is Morgan. Throws here, connects with Miller. He had one toe in bounds. That's going to be enough to give them the first with that 13-yard connection. As the no-huddle now begins here on this drive. And this is where this defense has to focus, as that's a throw to Wilson. He finds plenty of room along that left side. 16-yard gain as Turner was the man to bring him down. He's had a phenomenal season at safety and may just be the starting free safety next year. As Morgan looks to throw deep, that's going to be Miller on that deep in route. That's 17 yards for Scott Miller. As it's 1st and 10 near the red zone for Bowling Green here. As Morgan takes the snap, looks to throw, connects with his intended target. That's one of those names that I am not going to even try. Derek P. We're going to just say Derek P. Number 89, folks. That's the number he wears. As Morgan goes to the option, and I believe they wanted to almost fake it as if Morgan had given it off. Didn't work out. Ronnie Hansen was not fooled one bit as he came in and got his big sack there. 3rd and 10 as Morgan looks to throw now after the option didn't work, and that one's nearly intercepted. Richard Cruz playing great coverage there. Nearly getting that one for himself in the end zone, as that's where most of his picks have come from, it seems. As 4th and 10 is going to be a field goal here for Bowling Green, but that is no good wide left. A great job by this Sanford defense to force the field goal, and thank you, Bowling Green, for the miss. We surely appreciate that. As back to the offense go the Coyotes. Tyrone Jennings, the man, getting the first handoff. A gain of 5 on that one, as now this offense has to get a scoring drive going to keep this lead. Patrick dropping back, looking for his man. He connects with Costello, but he can't hold on. That was a very risky throw. A defender very close proximity to that ball. 3rd and 5, full house formation. Patrick looks to throw. He lobs it up, and that's Tremaine Dingle. That was another risky throw. Lobbed it up a little too much. Luckily, though, Dingle comes down with the first down as Patrick tries to take off on first and can't find anything. He'll get back to the line, though. 2nd and 10 under center for I form. They go to work to Tyrone Jennings again, as that's going to be a loss of 3 for the backup back. Jack Waltz III had a very good game last year against the Coyotes, and now he tries to make the same happen here. 3rd and 13, Patrick to throw. He connects with Rob Thomas, the freshman receiver. That's only a gain of 7, though. That's not going to be enough for the first. Sanford decided to punt, so now it's back to the Bowling Green State offense as T.O. Redding on the run. What a pass, what a screen that worked out there. 28 yards for Redding. As that's a huge first down for him. He had a big game last year as well against the Coyotes. Looks to be doing the same as the no-huddle begins again. 1st and 10, Morgan trying to take off. He finds room to run. That's past the marker, and that's going to be down at about the 45-yard line of Sanford. 1st and 10 now as Morgan looking to be in the pistol. He'll take the snap. connects with number 89 there, Derek P., as that's going to be a big 25-yard catch as he fought for some extra yards. 1st and 10, no huddle begins again. As this no huddle has been, of course, the bane of these Coyotes' existence and showing the MAC, as that's a drop from number 89. And Morgan really just, I'm sorry, but Morgan really has to be angry with 89. He had a wide open touchdown that he could have gotten there. But Donovan Wilson now carries here on 2nd down. That's going to be a gain of 6. 3rd and manageable here for the Falcons. As Morgan looks to throw, and he gets it off just in time. Falls incomplete, though, as Ronnie Hansen was coming in again. 4th and 4 here as a field goal is up. It is good, and Bowling Green has entered the scoreboard. It's all tied up at 3 apiece, 2:40 remaining in the first half. Sanford now back on the offensive side of things. 5 wide set. A little surprising to see them do this with Patrick. He tried to find Harrison Frazier, unable to connect though as he overthrows. 2nd and 10, Patrick looks for Jennings here for the handoff, and that's going to be a gain of 4. And Jennings having a very quiet day, not doing a lot fancy, and he showed a lot more speed in practice, which is very interesting. As 3rd and 6, Patrick on the run. He needs to pick up at least 6. He's going to do it on his own, and he gets about 8. They'll call it 10. That is a big 1st down by Tanner Patrick. He has done a good amount of running today, and it has worked out. As 1st and 10 handoff goes to Claude Fleming. He is dropped for a loss of 1. Not able to get back to the line. Jack Waltz once again trying to cause chaos. 2nd and 11, Patrick to throw, going deep, that's Costello. He had a little bit of space that he could have been thrown open, and Patrick does just that, throwing a little to the left side of Costello, where nobody was. Beautiful throw and catch. These two have a hell of a connection. Coyotes now in Falcons territory after the big play from Patrick to Costello. And Patrick looks Costello's way again, but that one is dropped. Another big hit coming in from this Falcons defense. As 2nd and 10 with 46 seconds left. That one's thrown up and intercepted by Stevens. He keeps 1 foot in bounds, maybe even had 2, but that is going to be a surefire pick. Jermaine Dingle the intended target, but Stevens just makes a great catch there to get that one. As Morgan now has a chance to put more points before the half, and wide open was Miller as he can't hang on, and luckily for the Coyotes he didn't. As it is 2nd and 10, Morgan connects with Miller this time, not as long though as he just makes it past the marker. They're going to call that 12. 1st and 10 here in the pistol. Morgan looks to throw. He's going to take off, and he's got plenty of running room in front of him. That's going to be a gain of 12 on his own part there, as that has been a big issue for this defense, stopping these mobile quarterbacks, whether it be this year or last. As Morgan looks to throw on 1st. That is Poe right there. He made some big plays last year. His first catch of the day today. A gain of 9. Just about 10 seconds left in this half. Morgan on the run. He loses the football as he's sacked by Shane Townsend. Picked up Heath Haley. That is a turnover for your Coyotes, as a beautiful sack by Townsend. He fights right through the tackle. And as Morgan's trying to get away from him, able to grab him down. Luckily not a horse collar call. And as he's brought down, Morgan lost that football. As now Patrick has to throw deep, and he connects with Fellows. 21 yards for the man wearing number 1. As 1 second remains, and Sanford gets one chance at a deep ball here to maybe put some points on the board before half. Patrick throws deep, and Thomas nearly had it, and it's intercepted. I'm not sure exactly how Bowling Green was able to pick that one off, because from my vantage point at least, it looked like the ball was on the turf, but apparently it wasn't. as we go into halftime, all tied up at 3 nonetheless, and it's bound to be an interesting time. Welcome back to the Sanford Sports Radio. I'm Jonathan West. It's all tied up at 3 apiece at the start of the second half, as James Morgan can't go anywhere. Deshaun Hollis brings him down as he was trying to take off on a quarterback draw. As that's going to be Hollis' first big play of the day. He's been very quiet for the most part as Morgan throws on 2nd and 13, but that's not held on to by Miller. He's dropped some big plays now, and that is a big positive for Sanford. As Morgan sets up the screen here on 3rd, but that doesn't work. Jason Turner all over it. He shut that down from the beginning. As 1st and 10 handoff goes to Fleming here for Sanford. Only a gain of 1 though, nothing going there. Fleming having a tough day really finding any big room to run. As 2nd and 9 now, Fleming going to take it around the right side, and he'll find a little bit of room. Only a gain of 4, but that will make it 3rd and medium. 3rd and 5 as Bradford's the man in motion, and they go play action here. Patrick looking for Costello, and he overthrows the man that he has the best connection with, I think, on this team. And that's disappointing. It's gone back to Bowling Green now as the Falcons take over on offense. Morgan goes to the flats for Donovan Wilson. That's going to be a gain of 3, but I think Sanford will let that up all day long. 2nd and 7 now as this defense ready for this no huddle, hopefully, as it continues here. Play coming in from the sidelines for Bowling Green as Wilson, the man in motion. Morgan takes the snap, connects with Miller. He's brought down just short of the marker. That's going to make it 3rd and 1. Miller's had a nice day other than those big drops. We're lucky those drops have been what they have been. 3rd and 1. Morgan looks to throw. He connects with Teo Redding. He does a stutter step on Gibson, the freshman, and goes off to the races. Gibson makes up by getting a tackle. But what a play by Teo Redding. Bowling Green now in the red zone after that big Redding catch and run. Morgan looks to throw here. Nearly intercepted by Jason Turner. That should have been a pick, more than likely going for 6. 2nd and 10 as defense chants are loud and clear here in the box as Cleveland can't go anywhere. A loss of 1. I believe that was Big Joe Irvin who got in there. 3rd and 11 now as Bowling Green looking to make something happen here. Morgan looks to throw. That one could have been picked too, but somehow Brandon Hunter comes away with it. Only gains 4 though as they'll have to settle for a field goal. The kick is up, and it is good. Bowling Green will take their first lead of the day. 6-3, Sanford now has to fight back as they take back on offense. Patrick on 1st and 10 throws it to Sotolano, if I pronounce that correctly. Sotolongo. There we go. So Sotolongo with the interception on Tanner Patrick. And that is the biggest mistake this team could have made. They hadn't made a big mistake this entire game. And then that happens. A 6-yard run here from James Morgan on 1st down. Making it 2nd and 4 now as the no huddle continues. This is when the defense has to step up. This defense might have to win the ball game as a nice deflection there from Hansen. I think this crowd would have rather had a pick, but I think everybody here will take the deflection perfectly fine as 3rd and 4. Morgan throws on the run, and that one should have been picked too. Jason Turner now has dropped 2 interceptions. Very disappointing. But hey, they hold Bowling Green to another field goal. So the kick is up. It is good again. It's now 9-3 as Bowling Green has scored 6 points. 6 points in a small margin of time as there is Rob Thomas by the Sanford offense. 5-yard gain on 1st down. This offense now has to be careful. They make one more mistake. I don't know if they can come back from it as Fleming gaining 5. Not enough for the first though. He'll be just short. 3rd and inches, Patrick under center. Looks like Jennings in the ball game, and they'll pitch it out to him. He finds a little bit of an edge and takes a big shot for his troubles. He does get the first, though, so Sanford's drive continues here. And Patrick's going to continue his day on the ground as he's going to take off on an 8-yard scamper off the option. He's got to learn to slide more often, though, as he's taken a number of hits when he runs. As Claude Fleming takes off here, and he'll gain 7. He doesn't need to learn to slide, as he can take those hits perfectly fine. A new set of downs and a new handoff goes to Antoine Bradford. His second of the day as he stumbles over some defenders for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 now in the offset eye. Patrick hands off, no, it's play action as Patrick looks to throw, and that one's intercepted. Banks with the pick. And this has gotten out of hand now, as Tanner Patrick has now thrown a number of interceptions here. And Bowling Green has an opportunity here right before the end of the 3rd to take it away. And that's Ronnie Hansen with a drop of another interception that should have gone Sanford's way. 2nd and 10 as I'm wondering if we're going to see another drop pick here. No, wide open, number 89, Derek P. 26-yard reception there. And that is a big gain. As 1st and 10, Morgan looking to make some more happen. He finds T.O. Redding. That's a 7-yard gain on the curl route, and taking us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Bowling Green now on top, 9-3 because of some Sanford interceptions. Hopefully they can come back in the 4th. You're listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. The 4th quarter will be coming up right after this. Welcome to the Sanford Sports Radio. It is 9-3 here in the 4th quarter as Morgan hands off to Wilson, and Wilson takes it enough for the first down as he's finally brought down. A 7-yard gain. I am Jonathan West, and Sanford really needs to just attack this Bowling Green offense. They need to somehow get this ball back. As Morgan hands back off to Wilson. Wilson with a gain of nothing. He actually will lose one. There's Ronnie Hansen. Has had a hell of a game today. Only could have came away with that pick earlier in the ball game. It would have been huge as Wilson gets another nice gain here. Gain of 5 on that one. 3rd and 6 now here for Bowling Green. As Morgan in the shotgun, he takes the snap, drops back, connects with Wilson, and that's brought down by Big Joe Irvin. The freshman defensive tackle not going to allow Wilson to do anything there. So that's going to be a loss of 2, and now Bowling Green has to settle for yet another field goal. Folks, this is the 6th field goal attempted. We'll see if this one goes through the uprights as the kick is up. It is good. A total of 5 field goals have been made today. As the kick is off here, Lewis McMahan waiting to return this one. He's got a couple of blockers in front of him. A beautiful block there. Another one as he's up the sidelines to the 50, up past the 40, the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Coyotes as Lewis McMahan. 101-yard kickoff return. The only touchdown of the day. That is enormous for this team right now. Talk about a momentum boost. As McMahan breaks his own kickoff return record, and now the defense has to try and shut down Bowling Green. As Morgan about to take off here, he's trying to find room to run. He finds a little bit. That's going to be a gain of 6 as he slides to safety. 2nd and 4 now as Morgan in the shotgun, continuing to call no huddle here. And he's going to get the play from the sideline. 2nd and 4. Taking the snap is Morgan. As Morgan's going to run to his left. He gets up to about the 45-yard line and slides. That's going to be a first down and more for Bowling Green. As now, once again, no huddle. Morgan looking to throw. Going to the flats. That is number 89, Derek P. A gain of 3 and out of bounds. 2nd and 7 here. The defense trying to get set. Play coming in from the sideline for Bowling Green, as this could get them into Coyote territory. The check down, and Cleveland is destroyed. That, I believe, was Stephen Young on the tackle. A hell of a play by Young. 3rd and 12 after the 5-yard loss by Cleveland. Morgan looks to throw here. He finds, I believe that's pronounced Dosis, Vanel Dosis, with a 5-yard reception. That's not going to be enough for a first, so Sanford's going to get this ball back. With 4 minutes and 50 seconds left, Sanford has a chance, as that is a nice run there by Claude Fleming. He's going to get enough for the first. They'll call it 11 yards. As 1st and 10, Patrick goes to the screen here for Fleming, and that's not going to be much. A gain of 2. I think they would have done better off by running it. It's been a solid outing for Fleming today on the ground, as they go to Jennings now on the ground, and they weren't expecting that on defense. That is a 10-yard gain and a first down for Tyrone Jennings, his best run of the day. 1st and 10, Patrick hands off to Jennings. They have kept this ball on the ground for the most part. A safe play with the screen, but it's all been on the ground as Jennings got 2 on his carry. 2nd and 8, they go back to that left side. Fleming gains 2 more. So this team has now rushed for over 100 yards on the day. 3rd and 6, pistol formation. Patrick taking off his own here on the ground game, and that's going to be 8 yards and enough for the first. Sanford is inching closer and closer to possible field goal range. They're about 20 yards out here as Jennings can't get anything off the full house sweep, and that's going to be a loss of 3. As this team is just in Bowling Green field position. Patrick to throw on the run, and he missed everybody. Lucky for him. I believe he was pretty much just throwing that one away. Everyone was covered. 3rd and 13, Patrick looks to throw. He connects with Rob Thomas. That's not going to be enough, though. That's only a 5-yard gain. So this team now has a 4th and 9. They must convert. Patrick looks to throw. He connects with Duron Costello. They've had that connection so far all year long, and especially this week. That is catch number 4 for the big tight end, and it doesn't get any more important than that one right there, as that puts them in Weaver field goal range. At the 20-yard line, handoff goes to Fleming. They have entered the red zone down at about the 15. A huge play there, as that will set this ball up pretty much. They just got to keep it straightened out for Weaver here. 2nd and 4 as they let time tick off the clock as much as they want. Patrick hands off to Fleming right up the gut, and that's going to be enough for the first gain of about 7. Fleming has averaged 6.5 yards just about per carry. A great outing as the kick is up. And it is perfect. Sanford, as time expires, has won this ball game. The first time that a game has come down to literally 1 point. Tracy Weaver kicks home Sanford to another win. The streak continues. They have had a huge winning streak since starting Tanner Patrick. He is undefeated as a starter here for Sanford. It won't die yet as Tracy Weaver kicks them to a 13-12 victory over Bowling Green. Absolutely phenomenal, folks. It doesn't get any closer than what we saw. They get revenge for last year and what should have been a winning game for them. What should have come out as a W came out as an L last year. This week, they don't allow that. 4 interceptions from Tanner Patrick, and they still come out on top. And one you can say was not entirely his fault and didn't really matter at the end of the half. But a huge victory for this Sanford defense as well as the offense. Not to mention Lewis McMahan with that kickoff return, the only touchdown of the game I might add. Well, folks, we're in for some more MAC conference play next week as we see if this streak can continue. As we will be ready for more Coyotes football next week, I've been Jonathan West. You've been listening to the Sanford Sports Radio. We will see you then.